In this video, I'm going to show you one move that every good golfer does during their golf swing. Whether it's the chap who plays at your golf club who's the best club golfer, or someone who's playing out on tour, they all do this, even going back hundreds of years. Now, when we watch golf on the television, if we were to freeze frame a swing down the line, and whether it's Matt Wolf, the new wonder kid, who's swinging up here and then under this way, if it's Adam Scott, who looks like he's swinging a little bit more up and down the line, they all get to a certain point in their golf swing, and that is when the club comes down and is last parallel to the ground. We see that we get this happening. The right elbow, so your right arm for a right-handed golfer, your trail arm, is bent and tucking in to the side, because as you're watching this at home, I bet there's loads of people who've never felt that, because what they tend to do is that as they get up to the top of the backswing and start the downswing, we feel that we throw the club forwards and we are extending the arm down, and we get the either big chop down into the ground or we're cutting across it, and it's just not what a good golf swing does. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a feeling that I want you to get today. If I asked you to throw a golf ball, so if I go and get another golf ball out of my bag here now, and I said to you, I want you to throw this ball as far as you can, you wouldn't stand in a position where you were going to throw it down at the ground like this. You would stand where your spine would tilt behind it, and you would load up and then throw. And that's what we've got to take into the golf swing. We've got to get the correct spine angle to be able to actually gather our elbow in. If I go from the top and get my lead shoulder going early, I throw early. I need to make sure I can drive and gather to see that I can get this tuck. So what I want to do, when I'm actually coming to hit a golf shot now, as I address the golf ball, my main aim would be that I want to, in my setup, try and find my hitting position. And what I mean by that is that I want to find a little bit more tilt in my spine away from the target as I start. Whether it's an iron or a wood, with an iron I would just press forwards into my lead side and make sure there would be a little bit pressure. But I just want to find a little bit more tuck in my spine here. From there then, as I turn, the big feeling that I have is that I push my lead hip forwards, and then from there my spine tilts, but I feel like I gather this in a lot. Also, what I've got to marry up with this, one of the other problems would be what's happening with the club face. If you're someone who's got a really open club face at the top where the toe would be pointing down at the ground, what we might see is that you actually throw the club early in an aid to try and square it up. So the thing I want to try and marry up with this feeling of tucking the right elbow in here is that as I start down, my left wrist, I would feel I slightly bow it on the way down. So I would get the little bit of tilt behind the spine. Imagine I'm about to throw my golf ball, and from there I feel that I bend my lead wrist a little bit more, bowed like this, and then from there I can now get into this position where I've got this tucked right elbow, the trail side of my body's getting tucked, my lead side's extending, and then I can deliver all my power and in and through the golf ball. So if you're someone who is throwing it from the top, firstly, just imagine taking a side-on stance to a target and getting used to throwing. You lever your body to gather your arm to then release the throw. We don't throw it like that, just doesn't look powerful. Once we've got that, what we should be able to do is start to see that we generate more power and get the club swinging from the inside a little bit more. So simply at home, all I want you doing is standing, thinking, gather, and when we get the club in our hands, let it fall behind and gather, get the lead wrist bowing, and we've got what every good golfer does in their golf swing. If I can do this, we should see a pretty decent golf shot. So take our stance. I'm going to imagine just throwing my ball whilst I'm swinging the club. And there, a nice strike, ball away. All about having this trail arm gather. Don't throw it from the top, gather it, and you'll start to get a good golf swing. Guys, thanks for watching this video. See you in your next lesson.